Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching The Breakfast Show, and as I said in the beginning of our episode today, that we're going to talk about Egypt's presidency of the African Union Peace and Security Council on February the 1st. Will be starting on February the 1st, started already yesterday, for 1 month's term at a time marked by mounting security, political and developmental challenges across the African continent. And to shed more light on this topic, we are delighted to have with us here in the studio Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish. He's an international cooperation expert. Thank you very much, Dr. Mokhtar, for coming.
We are glad to join from Nile TV International to the world, the sound of Egypt.
Thank you, Dr. Mokhtar.
I appreciate it.
At the beginning, I would like to ask you about how do you see the choice of Egypt to hold the presidency of the PSC, and what would its main tasks be during the period of the presidency?
This is returning back to the past couple of days, proof how is Egypt have a good image and good looking about Africa and taking care about Africa, especially our president Fattah Sisi, and his good imaging and about Africa, and they're taking care about what's going on in several files related to that field, and how much that our government and our president taking care about Africa and all the troubles this couple of months, proof that we already have a good respecting to the image or what's going on in that special of Africa.
Yeah, special time.
A special time, of course. Yeah.
Dr. Darwish, we want to talk more about the challenges facing the African continent in terms of politics, security and developmental challenges across the continent.
Of course, there are several challenges related to that files of Africa, Sudan and what's going on in it, and Libya, and most of the country, Nigeria, also Somalian, and the new Somalian city. That's the trouble this couple of days, and prove that we already was respecting what's going on in Africa. It's going on to the whole world, especially for the dedicated and the sensitive time of what's going on in Africa, and what's going on to the world, because it's reflecting related to that. And Egypt was working in this several fields. Of course, Dr. Badr Abdelati and all the other ministers, with also the president, taking care about solving these issues and these problems in Africa. And this is the gaining of that. It's time to get Egypt more, authority to finalizing and fixing these files related to this couple of months, starting from the February, as you was mentioned that in your introduction.
Dr. Darwish, how will Egypt link its strategy with the African Union 2063 agenda?
Related to that field, that's the show that's Egypt have preparing for that from the starting before, and was not need to be in charge. It was already charging related to Africa, since our any troubles or any problems it was facing to that in Africa. We was working in that files to fixing, and already have several meetings and appointments with Sudan and Libya and Somalian to finalize and supporting. And our president was very getting lights on that. It's a matter of the peoples, locally, to solve it locally in these countries, not to be advising or monitoring from outside of these countries. And I was believing that Somalian or Libyan or Sudan, and them owning to fixing or to taking care of their decision. It's a matter of them decision. And was several meetings and appointments related to that, and was also supporting that, to handling, giving any needs related to that to all other these countries.
Dr. Darwish, what are the complex regional and international conditions requiring enhanced coordination and collective action, and how would that help in addressing the evolving threats to peace and stability in the African continent?
Of course, you mentioned a very important thing, the stability. Africa needs stability and needing support. And it's time to get stability and get more stopping war or what's going on internally in these countries. Especially, it's a matter of taking care about, or what's going on in Africa is reflecting to the whole world, because Africa is very sensitive area. There is several wars going in it, and this is stopping also the developments to creating and the globalizations related to that. And it's a matter to need little bit needs from the from European and the United States to solving or supporting them to finalizing and to stopping war internally, and to be starting to getting back to let the citizen peoples taking them decisions. And it's time to creating more stopping challenge for these countries is now need. And I mentioned before in from Nile TV that it's a piece of diamond. Africa is a piece of diamond, but need who taking care about it, believe in the needs, know what's the needs, and it's sure reflecting that related to also what's the image and what's planning for that from Egypt. How it's the diamond is very important to the whole world, and just need a little bit helping and it is supporting to finalizing and stopping what's going on internally, to time starting have little bit stability to starting again to getting back to life.
Yeah. Dr. Darwish, Cairo is planning to hold separate ministerial meetings to tackle both Sudan and Somalia. We would want to know from you why that special care in those two countries have in this critical time.
And of course, that is a very critical time related to that. And also there is very neighbors for us from this two part, wherever Sudan and even Somalian, because also it's the one of the gate of the Red Sea related to Somalian. And as we know, that's the improvement or agreement by Israel to have in Somalian or to dedicate it to supporting, have other country related to that to stop it. And Egypt was very careful about these files, and also saying several warning related to that. It's not a matter to participate or getting all countries to back, as what happened in Sudan, to be having in several cities, and this is not accepted. And try to supporting the citizen people to taking them decision, and also going in the international or overseas world to know what's going on in related to that, and getting supporting for them to getting back again to this agenda on the opening meeting, to have finalizing these issues. Is not a matter of stopping this war, stopping this action, what's going on in Africa. You mean this separating to several countries is not a matter that you're not able to have a city. It's not accepted to have a small city in this area. And it's time to stopping this. It's really time. Need little bit, movement, a little bit supporting to stopping initially that. And Egypt was very focused on what's going on in that area, especially these places, to finalizing and get solutions related to that.
And what about the security challenges the two countries, I mean Sudan and Somalia, pose to the African Union, and how can the Council help in solving those crises?
This crisis is very, from the starting of this crisis, our president and of course the governmental Egypt government was taking care about this point from the starting or from the scratch, as we mentioned, and was working to finalizing immediately to stopping what's going on related to that. And as per your question, it's very caring about the security issues. The security issues of happening is already reflecting to Egypt, and what's happening not just in Africa, reflecting, as I mentioned before, it's outside of that. I mean internationally, and it's very red line security related to Egypt. What's happening in Somalia and Sudan, because we're a neighbor. We're on the gate. It's a part of the gates.
Yes.
We don't need to to open more gates. So this is if already officially we're reflecting back to Egypt. And Egypt started to solving that immediately from the starting and found a solution related to that and pushing all the citizens people get back on pieces actions and take their decision whatever internally, but initially with the people, with the citizen, not out of it. And our president also was have agendas and filing related to that before the starting. It would been initially yesterday pushing that will have working in the security file and even to finalize, and there is several visits with Sudanian and Somalian and supporting Somalia and supporting Sudan to finalizing and in ending this crisis.
Okay. Dr. Darwish, we want to move now to a very important topic, which is the climate change. One of the main topics that would be discussed in the Egyptian presidency of the Peace and Security Council for African Union. How does the climate change represent a threat to the continent and its future?
That's a show that Egypt, again, it's have the image, was preparing for that, was have focus on what's happening. And related to that, and also initial insecurities and financial and developments and even globalizations, and try to get in that show that we always have very good visions. And
in climate change.
Yes, in climate change.
Yeah.
And we have already worked.
We already started.
We already started, yeah. And we're starting supporting Africa. There is also an academics, military, every files, governmental, agriculture, every field was cooperating immediately with Africa.
And Africa is the most continent affected by climate change so
Of course, that. And development and the feeding back what's going on even in the world out of Africa, related to Africa, because you know it's this supporting. What's that? It's get the things more heavy on Africa. That's needs, as our president was mentioned, that several international conference, them just need hands to finalizing or pushing to helping that to getting solutions related to that. And this crisis is so heavy on Africa, and proof that we will not stay until the things we are, you become a charged person. Before we are a charge, before we are in that initially, we will take in action.
Yeah. And
this is your feedback. This is returning back to the most important point, that you already get visions and mission and preparing, and as everybody is following us, the crisis management, if you know the story, what's going on, and you was preparing well, using management, using every globalizations, using API also to find solutions and get very high communication internally from Africa and internationally related to the whole world. And you know, most of the substance around the world is in Africa.
Yeah.
But
it's a very rich continent.
Yes. I also mentioned before in your programs, one of your programs from Nile TV, that we have just need management, one of the management, one and believe in Africa.
Yeah.
We could be more than European.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's been management well and cooperating and communication well.
I want to ask you about two things. First one is the funding issue. What about the countries that urgently need the funding issues? And also I would like to ask you about the food insecurity in Africa, which is leading to conflicts and instability also in the continent, and what are the suggested solutions?
Okay. Before answering that, I would like to mention from the first date, from any crisis happening, Egypt opened the doors at the gate for Sudanian and any other countries needed to have supporting from Egypt internally.
So the most needed country for funding is Sudan?
Is Sudan and Somalian as urgent related to that, because it's very important too. It's the gate for our Red Sea.
Yeah.
That's a very important point. And we don't need to somebody be staying in the middle. It's one of that. That's everybody say. Why?
And also Sudan has the other part of my question.
Yes.
The food insecurity.
Yes. And the food insecurity is very needs. What's happening in Sudan is very, very big issues.
Yeah.
Whatever, same or more than hardened than what's happening in Palestinian files.
Yeah.
And that is was the image and preparing from our president that Sudan will not, is a neighbor.
Yeah.
It's a part, was before. It's the same same country.
Yes.
All right. So that's we need the food files is very important to Sudan as immediately.
Nigeria also.
Yes, and Nigeria, of course, and Somalian, and also preparing to this Asian initially fund to starting as soon in that in this country.
In this issue. Okay. Well, Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, the international cooperation expert, thank you very much for coming to our studio today.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, by this we reach the end of our breakfast show today. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for more to come on Nile TV International. This was Abir Mitwali.